What was his actual quote
He
about?
says on X, a woman in Georgia is being kept on life support so that the child she's carrying can come to term and be born. I was asked about this case while in Britain. Apparently, people thousands of miles away are scandalized that this is happening. I'll admit that I'm completely baffled as to what the controversy is here. That's disingenuous because despite the fact that maybe when after thinking about this for a while, because I'm going to, question my own assumptions on this issue, because this is something new that I haven't really thought much about before in this particular situation. I don't think that it is that simple. And I can totally see why there would be a controversy and debate around it. I can understand both sides, to be honest, even if I don't agree entirely with the other side. But so I don't know. I think that's pretty disingenuous, or at least really thoughtless of him to say. I'm baffled to know what the controversy here is. Like, really, really, are you baffled that there would be a controversy around keeping a woman on life support to be like an incubator for a baby that might not survive? Okay, wait. Before I get ahead of myself, I'll finish reading the tweet. Literally none of the arguments typically offered by pro-abortion advocates apply here. There's no threat to the mother's life or health. The mother, Adriana Smith, is tragically already brain dead. There's no threat to her personal autonomy. There's no threat to her of any kind. It is literally impossible to harm her in any way. The only person facing any kind of potential harm is her unborn child. In one situation, 2 people definitely die. In the other situation, a child may be able to live. Saving lives is a good thing. This is only controversial if you actually view killing unborn children as a good thing. Like, no.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, stop that. Okay, this is only controversial if you actually view killing unborn children as a good thing and want more dead children for its own sake. Like, don't do that.
There are so many problems with his argument. One, saying she's already dead, so it's impossible to harm her. So does he think it's fine to rape corpses? And we have laws against that. We have laws against abusing corpses. Right. So you can harm a dead body according to the law. His argument, my entire argument for the legality of abortion is I do not believe at any point in pregnancy should women become state-regulated incubators. This case is it epitomizes the issue that women are viewed as state-regulated incubators, that the state has intervened and said this woman has to be maintained as an incubator for this fetus. 3, the family is being horrifically emotionally harmed by this. This is a ghoulish situation for them to be in. We have no idea what the outcome is going to be for the fetus, for this child. It's almost certainly not going to be good. And if the child survives delivery, at best, the family will be deeply ambivalent about the child's life. I'm sure they'll, like, on some level be happy, but the gruesomeness of the situation is going to dog this child for life, and in the way the whole family interacts with the child. And the child is most likely going to be profoundly disabled if she or he survives. She was 9 weeks pregnant. That's barely pregnant. So many miscarriages happen in the first trimester. It's not like she was 24 weeks pregnant and they kept her alive for another 4 or 5 weeks. She was barely pregnant. We don't know what those, the massive amounts of medications that are required to maintain her blood pressure, to maintain her vital signs. Keeping someone alive isn't as simple as just having an intubation tube in them in the ICU. She's being propped up by enormous amounts of pharmaceuticals. We don't know what that's doing to the fetus. This is insane. It's just so gruesome. Plus, couldn't his argument also be extended to anyone who's brain dead can be harvested for organs if it means someone else is going to live? If you happen to have a rare blood type and only your heart can save someone, why can't you be forced to donate your organs if you're in a brain dead state, even if your advance directive says you don't want to be an organ donor? And why wouldn't women be required by the state to do, what is it called, whole body gestational organ donation, or whole body gestational donation? That's being thrown around in academic circles as an alternative to surrogacy, to use brain dead women as incubators. Is already being discussed.
Yeah, I've heard of this also. I mean, I guess it also just, it's so dehumanizing, and I feel like it's like he,
Yes.
would call himself, of course, pro-life. Like he would
Mm-hmm.
see this as, like a pro-human and pro-humanity stance that he's taking. Procreation is a good thing. Save a child's life. That's a good thing. But, I think that imagining, and I think that men often don't get this because they're men and not women, imagining that the child, like the fetus, is separate from the woman, that those are two separate entities, as opposed to the woman being completely intricately connected to her baby that's growing inside her. Like every part of the baby needs her and what she provides, and specifically her, and that continues after birth. I mean, obviously babies can survive if there's an unfortunate circumstance and they're adopted out or something like that, but it's not even close to an ideal situation. It should be the mother of the baby who's breastfeeding it, and so on and so forth. And so many men just don't really seem to get that. And I think that's why so many men are, pro surrogacy and anti-abortion, and would, support this particular situation, because they really don't realize the whole like biological processes that are happening here between the mother and her baby.
Well, and the misogynist trope of adoption, not abortion, as though the two are equivalent, of just incubate that baby. It's no big deal to risk your health and life for 9 months and bond and, have a continual biochemical relationship with the baby, and then just give the baby away. It's no big deal. It's the same as aborting. It just takes a little longer. No, they don't understand motherhood. They don't understand the mother baby unit. And anyone who did understand that would not support the gruesomeness of forcing a person to incubate in a brain dead woman who's just lying in the ICU. The baby's not getting any motion. The baby is not getting any communication. The baby is, again, being flooded with all sorts of medications to prop up the mother's body who's trying to die. It's not fair to the baby. It's not necessarily a fate better than death to have profound disabilities and to be to carry that legacy of your origin, being your extended family wanted to let you die with your mother, as would be natural if we didn't have a system that could prop up a mostly dead body. Like any other time in human history before the last 30 years, she would have just died, and it would have just been a tragedy. And she may have not even known she was pregnant because she was so early pregnant. But because we live in this techno craziness, they can create this situation.